week 13 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few guards I look to drop this week. The first guy, John Wall of the Los Angeles Clippers. I mentioned Wall last week as a drop, but still only 40% of fantasy leagues, and he's just not a guy you can count on with injuries, scratches, and just not putting up the numbers he once did on the season. 11.4 points a game, 2.6 rebounds, 5.3 assists, the 41% from the field in the last couple weeks here for Wall. 9.3 points a game, 2.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.3 threes a game, and 45% from the field. So it seems like he'll have one decent game here and there, and then he'll miss a handful of games. Is John Wall on and off throughout the season. So the last few games for him: January 2nd versus Miami, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 25% from the field. January 6th in Minnesota, 14 points, a rebound, 8 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 50% from the field. Then January 8th versus Atlanta, 5 points, 2 boards, 5 assists, a block, a 3, 25% from the field. So right now he's not doing much of anything, is John Wall. The scoring's down this season. I know last season he didn't play at all, and that definitely could have hurt him and knocking the rust off still. But right now, at this point, he's just a name and not really a guy doing much for fantasy owners. So he's a guard I would drop this week. The next guy, Reggie Jackson of the same team, the Los Angeles Clippers. So Reggie Jackson last season, he was great for this Clipper team, but this season, numbers definitely taking a hit. 11.3 points a game, 2.4 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.5 threes, and 41% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, only 8.5 points a game, 1.9 rebounds, 2.5 assists, the 3, and 42% from the field here for Jackson. So Jackson right now, the minutes have gone down over the last couple games, and he's not really getting the job done for this Los Angeles Clipper team. January 5th at Denver, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 16% from the field. January 6th at the Timberwolves, 2 points, a rebound, 3 assists, a steal, 11% from the field. And January 8th versus Atlanta, only 8 minutes of play, 0 for 2 from the field, and he didn't get one stat on the stat line here. So Reggie Jackson not getting the job done. I don't know what happened to him from last season to this season. Not really doing much, and he's an easy drop this week. He definitely could get hot and get things going. I think the problem is John Wall in front of him, and both these guys not doing anything at the point guard position. So let's say if Wall gets hurt, if Jackson gets hurt, maybe one guy will get value back. But right now with both of them, their drops this week, and the third and final guard I have is a drop, Donte DiVincenzo of the Golden State Warriors. So on the season for DiVincenzo, 7.4 points a game, 4.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.7 threes, and an awful 39% from the field on the season. So DiVincenzo will have a couple pop games here and there, but for the most part, he's not doing much to garner much fantasy value, especially in 35 minutes a game that he's been playing of late. January 2nd versus Atlanta, 8 points, 9 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 threes, 33% from the field. January 4th versus the Pistons, 5 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, to 50% from the field. Then January 7th versus the Magic, 15 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, 5 threes, 41% from the field. So definitely a decent game he had versus the Orlando Magic here is DiVincenzo, but he's not a guy that's going to be consistent. And once Steph Curry comes back to the lineup sooner than later, and with Klay Thompson coming back after he was scratched from a ball game last week here, DiVincenzo's numbers are going to go down, and he's not going to do much where he's going to be a guy that should be owned in a lot of fantasy leagues. Definitely could do a few things, is DiVincenzo, but he's not great at one thing to really hold on to him. So that's a few guards I look to drop here in week 13 of the fantasy basketball season.